Whenever a statistical test is carried out, there's always a possibility that the conclusion is incorrect. That's what type 1 and type 2 errors refer to. A type 1 error happens when the null hypothesis is wrongly rejected, a false positive. It means concluding there is a significant difference or correlation, when in reality there isn't one. It's like saying to someone who is clearly not pregnant that they are pregnant. A type 2 error happens when the null hypothesis is wrongly accepted, a false negative. That means concluding there's no significant effect when there actually is one in the population. In other words, this would be telling someone very pregnant that they're not pregnant. So in short, type 1 is believing there's an effect that doesn't exist, and type 2 is missing an effect that does exist. As a memory aid, I tell my students to think of the letter J in reject as a 1, linking to type 1 error. So we wrongly reject the null hypothesis. And in accept, there's a double letter, 2 C's, which I link to type 2. We wrongly accept the null hypothesis. The probability of making an error is actually directly linked to the significance level chosen for the test. If a test is carried out at p equals 2 or smaller than 0.05, there's a 5% chance of rejecting or accepting the null hypothesis wrongly. Type 1 errors, wrongly rejecting the null hypothesis, become more likely when using more lenient significance levels, such as p equals 2 or smaller than 0.1, because the test allows more room, 10%, for chance. Type 2 errors become more likely with stricter significance levels, such as p equals 2 or smaller than 0.01, because it becomes harder to find significance even when a real effect exists. So choosing a significance level is always a balance between being too lenient and too strict.